I begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land and pay my respects to their elders, past and present. I extend that respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. Today is the day 45 of the Grand Australian Ride. Today I rode from Sydney to Canberra. I had a stop at Tiruil, Wollongong, Robertson. In Robertson we saw the Big Potato. Then we stopped at Goulburn to see the Big Marino, and then we finished at Canberra. The ride date was 13th of June 2022. The time it took us was 10 hours and 15 minutes. Weather was freezing, really cold. The distance we covered was 346 kilometers. The terrain was hilly and twist with a lot of twisties. We took fuel stops in Tiruil in New South Wales, and we finally finished in Canberra in ACT. Today is 13th of June and it's day 45. I'm in Sydney. Day 44 was a rest day. Today we are traveling from Sydney to Canberra. The route we are taking is via Bold Hill, Wollongong, and all the way to Canberra. And Prerna, my sister-in-law, she is joining me as well on the Harley. And we've got support team as well, which will be joining us later on. But yesterday was a lot of fun. All the boys had fun on their new motorcycles. Yeah. And so right now the time is 9:20. We are already a bit behind, but should be leaving in another 10 minutes. I'll see you on the road. It's nearly 9:37 and let's get started. Om Ganeshaya Namah. Jai Adishakti Mata ki Jai, Krishna Kanhaiya Lal ki Jai, Har Har Mahadev Har. Jai. So Prerna is with me as well. So we'll get started now. So first stop is basically for fuel. I rocked up for Canberra, but I'm already feeling the heat inside. I feel like I've put on too much of layers. Anyways, so the first stop is to get the fuel in, so I'll update once we are at the pump. I'm okay for now. I think Prerna will need fuel, so we'll stop for that. So we're fueled up now. I haven't recorded it because it wasn't in my bike. As it wasn't in my bike, there's no point recording it, because otherwise there will just be confusion. So I've got half a tank, so the Harley eats up more fuel. So I decided that when I'm half a tank, we'll stop for fuel, and when I am empty, then I'll fuel up as well. So that will be a good strategy to going ahead, because for this pretty much 5-6 days I'm going to be riding with Harley, and the fuel consumption is obviously different. So now we are going to get onto the motorway. We are already on M7. The distance to Canberra, if you stay on this route, shows us 227, but our goal is to try and cover as much of A1 as possible. And also we are going via Bold Hill, which is a very scenic route and also is A1. And then we are going to go to Wollongong, and then we are going to go slightly off A1. to go to Canberra, because Canberra is not on A1. It's actually away from it. So we have to go inland to Canberra, and then after we visit Canberra today, tomorrow we have to go again back outwards towards the sea to join back on A1. So because of the A1 route that we are taking, our total distance today is about more than 350 kilometers. So we are going to ride longer than a typical route to Canberra, which is nearly 2/3 of what we are doing. Until we reach to Ball Hill, it's going to be a pretty straightforward route on the motorway. So there isn't really much to see over here. But I'll just quickly give an update on what happened past couple of days. Day before yesterday, I arrived in Sydney. There was a bit of confusion is in the meeting at spot, but finally we all got together. There were about 5 other bikes that came to receive me. Then we took some slightly longer routes before going to our destination, so that we could enjoy a bit of riding together. We have 5 bikes in total, had a lot of fun, and then went home, and then went to my sister's place, and I basically met up with everyone. Everyone was excited and all, and had shared a lot of stories. And then yesterday, my 3 nephews, my brother's kid, and 2 of my sisters, 3 of the boys wanted to go out for riding the motorcycles. So we got off-road motorcycles, Yamaha P50 and P65. So we took them, and we went to a farm, and basically got them riding over there. They were all muddy and stuff by the end of the day, and yeah, so basically we finished off the day with the family. Yesterday was a good rest day. Now looking forward to the remaining part of the journey. Just a quick brief. Today going to Canberra, tomorrow going to towards Melbourne, but we'll be stopping halfway, and then the day after we'll be reaching Melbourne, but I won't be going to Melbourne City. I'll be going to Melbourne, and then from there I'll be going to Port Melbourne. Port Melbourne is where I will be catching the ferry to Tasmania. So on the 3rd day I'll be going straight onto the ferry. My brother would be accompanying me to Tasmania, so we'll go straight onto the ferry, park the bike, strap them up, and then basically we have booked a room over there as well, so we'll be staying there in the ferry overnight while the ferry takes us to Tasmania. And then a couple of days we'll be going, the next day we'll be going to Hobart, the day after coming back from Hobart and straight onto the ferry, and the last day would be when the ferry docks onto onto Port Melbourne, and we will be doing a last ride of maybe around 50 k's or so to the temple. Now the temple where I started, Shiv Vishnu temple in Melbourne. And when I reach the port, there might be other people who might join us as well. Maybe someone from some people from the Royal Enfield Himalayan Club as well of Australia, or some other friends and family may join us as well. So not sure about that, depending on how things are at that stage. But yeah, that's the plan so far. Now I'll just update you once we are on the actual once we're out of this motorway, which will be in a while. So it's around 10 o'clock right now. We are already running a little behind, but staying on the motorway gives us a bit of a catch up on time as well, because as soon as we are off the motorway, our speeds will slow down as we'll be going into windy roads. So but it will be fun. Yes, absolutely. It's very scenic as well. So yeah, looking forward to it. Update: we got into M7 and now we are into M5. Sydney has multiple motorways. M7 is a motorway that was going towards Canberra, and now we turned around and got into M5, which goes back towards the city. The whole idea behind taking the motorway, or Google showing us the motorway, was to avoid the Sydney traffic. There is an alternative route as well where you get into the Sydney city. So now basically we are bypassing the whole of city and then going towards the sea. We are on Heath Road now, which is obviously a much more smaller road compared to the motorways, but a much more nicer road to ride on as well. So it's kind of, this is a pattern that I've seen around Perth as well. As you get closer to the ocean, the roads get smaller and windier like this. So I'm hoping we will be getting closer to the ocean soon. Road, and we went from M7 to M5 to Heath Road, and now we are finally getting onto the A1. As you can see in front of me, Princess Highway A1. So if Sydney is here, we went like this. We did like a C and then near the ocean basically, and now we are going, because A1 is goes along the ocean. There is a parallel freeway, a much faster freeway between Sydney and Melbourne goes, and Canberra is kind of, you need to still go off that highway as well to get into Canberra. Now that's obviously not A1, that's an internal freeway. I think that's a motorway, just like you have the motorway around Brisbane and Sydney and all of that. Yep. So now we are on A1. The first stop is Bald Hill, so let's see how we go. So the beach is on the right now. I don't know how come it's on the right, but anyways, it is on the right. As you can see, this is a famous spot for paragliding. That's what my brother-in-law was saying to me yesterday, that it's popular for people who want to do paragliding. They get up high over here and then you can basically jump. So we are in Bald Hill now. As you can see on my right, people are paragliding right there. We'll go to the lookout. That will be a good spot to check out this, paragliders and stuff, and then we'll get going from there. Next to the town of Bald Hill, Bald as in like bald head, and this is a Bald Hill lookout, and as you can see, all the paragliders around here. It's a pretty high spot and a good cliff, and there must be some good landing ground as well, so it's an ideal spot for people who like to do paragliding. Apparently the people from Sydney actually come over here just for paragliding. Prerna is with me, so I'm just making sure that she's okay. And yeah, there you go. I think that's a good view. So yeah, this is the Bald Hill lookout. just outside the town of Bald Hill. The view is amazing over here. It's another lookout over here, small one. It will be a nice windy road from here on, so I'm going to be going a little slow. I think Prerna prefers a little slow as well. This is a beautiful ride. It's just like Great Ocean Road. Got ocean on one side, mountain on the other side. Nice sunny day, cool breeze. This is heaven. Now that is beautiful. Look at the waves. Oh wow, look at that. I don't know how clearly it's visible on the GoPro, but that is a beautiful scene. And the whole bridge is amazing. The bridge kind of sticks out. This is the same bridge that you saw from a height. I'm pretty sure they won't have any parking around here. If they did, then it will be full. Breeze is amazing. Yeah. Love to fly the drone over here, but I guess it might be just way too windy for it. And due to paragliding, there would be restrictions as well. So many motorcycles around here. It's a nice sunny day. It just gives people more motivation to go around on the motorcycle. That's another parking way for Sea Cliff Bridge. Now we'll probably take a break around here for a cup of coffee, fuel up as well. At the first fuel station we find, and then get going further down the road. This looks like a good coffee shop. A lot of bikes parked over there. Okay, we'll look at the next one anyways. Definitely very nice ride. Scenic lookout, 300, 700 and 800 meters. So it's just non-stop. कैसा लगा? स्पीड स्लो कर देते हैं तो आसान रहता है। पीछे वाला एक्चुअली वैसे भी 50 का ही जोन था तो
is Wollongong. We are bypassing Wollongong. We are on M1 or A1, same thing. That's Princess Highway going to Wollongong. Now from here we are going inwards now. Actually Princess Highway I think is A1, but we are going inwards because we need to go to Moswell, and from there we are going to Canberra. You see A1 is here and the internal highway is here and Canberra is in the middle. So this is, yeah, so basically we have to stay on M1 to get to Canberra. We have to go on the internal road and then go to Canberra basically. Tulipa Inn, 1860. It's a pretty old pub over here. It's a very scenic place. I'm just outside Albion Park, the town of Albion Park near Wollongong, Santa's farm. So it's a pretty cool space over here. Cool as in the temperature cool. So there's a bit of a potato farming going on around here, and because of that, to promote the local fruit or vegetable, to promote the local vegetables, they've got a big potato nearby. So on our route we would actually be passing the big potato, so we'll try and make a stop over there. And otherwise the route is really nice. I mean, if you look around, it's nice, very hilly, very scenic. The roads are like a little windy, not too windy either, and it's got that up and down and a little wind and everything, so it's very nice to ride. You almost any level of biker, beginner or medium or intermediate or expert, would love to ride around here. So yeah, view so scenic, so beautiful. Yeah, horses over here and cows. Horses, cows and potatoes and pine trees. Robertson, and the home of the big potato, as you can see right here. And Musty is here. There's no access, so I can't actually bring Musty all the way on the lawn. Even the cyclists can go, so I can maybe push it, but there's so many motorcyclists over here, so I guess I'm not going to do it. Prerna's bike actually fell, so she's got some issue with her mirror. I'm going to take the bike on the other side and then check that out and see if I can be of any help. But that is the big potato, one of the big stuff on the highways of Australia. So there it is. I believe it should be fine, but still, let's check it out. Look at the view. So we have left from Robertson. We are headed towards Moswell. So So in regards to the bike falling, obviously Prerna was still standing, but the bike fell. That happened because she slowed down too much at one point where we were going in the windy space. There was one point which was like really steep, just a big steep turn, and you had to like really slow down, increase the gear, increase the speed, create better traction, and then go up. I think she slowed down too much and missed the traction part, so the bike got loose and it fell. So she lost balance basically. Luckily she didn't get a scratch, but the mirror of the bike is loose, so I've got the tools with me. So we need to tighten it up now. We need to make sure that the clutch is in the right spot and it's not too tight. So the plan is to go to Mossvale, which is about 20 kilometers from Robertson, and we'll fix it there. And my brother and they are all near Goulburn right now, so they will have to come backwards for about a half an hour or so, and we are going this way 20 minutes. So the plan is to once we get there, I'll try and first fix the mirror. By the time they will be there, and we'll make sure the bike is in order. If need be, then my brother can take the bike and we can get going. So that's basically what we decided. Most likely Prerna should be just fine. She's more than capable to handle it, but still we just want to make sure everything is fine. Now look at the views. All the twisty part is done. We came from a lower level, now we are at a much higher level over here, because we are constantly climbing. Wollongong is near the sea, and Robertson is at a height, and there's a big steep climb, and it's all a windy climb. And since we climb, we are on a flatter ground, so like a plateau, and we got cows on both sides, and there's it's a bit few degrees cooler around here. That's why it's the potato thing and all of that. But in general, as we get closer to Canberra, it will start getting cooler, because Canberra is considered to be one of the coolest capitals of all the states. Canberra is the capital of Australia, but at the same time it's the capital of ACT, which is another state called Australian Capital Territory. It's like in India we have Delhi, and Delhi, I don't remember the name, but the Delhi Capital Territory or something like that. Yeah, so Delhi as a state and Delhi as a capital, same concept over here. So we are in Mossvale. Basically just finished having just had a quick coffee, fixed the bike. The mirror of the bike had twisted a little bit, and not this one, but Prerna's bike, my sister-in-law's bike. She has a Harley Davidson Sportster, and 1200cc. Yeah, so the clutch was shifted a little bit, and the screw was loose for some reason, so for the mirror. So I've got tools with me, so I basically fixed that. And yeah, there was just a bit of scratch in a couple of places, which is not good, but what do you do? But at least she is safe, and we are on our way now to Goulburn, where there is the Big Marino, or you can, in simple words, you can just call it a ship, Bucketo. So that's they made a massive one over there, so we'll just check that out. The sun is about to set. It's already 3:40 and it's winter over here, so the sun sets around 5 o'clock. So we have to try and not stop much and get to the Big Marino. I believe after we visit the Big Marino, the sun would set, and we'll probably have to ride in dark, but I guess we don't have much choice, so that's okay. We will be off the main highway, so it's fairly safe, no problem. And Prerna would just be following me, so Should all be good. But anyways, on the way now. Everything is good, so it's all good. So Mosvale is a fairly big size town, you know. Around New South Wales, Queensland and Victoria, you know, you see so many big towns. I mean, this is as big as some of the few big towns that you'd see in Western Australia or Northern Territory. Someone who hasn't been on that side of the country wouldn't know that, you know, these big towns are not common on the other side. So now we are going on to the Hume Highway from here towards Goulburn. So we are trying to avoid big freeways as far as possible. A1 is not exactly a big motorway in this patch. This is Hume Highway. A1 is on the other side. We would have ideally gone straight on the other side, but the reason why we came around here was purely to visit Canberra. Now we are so basically now we are on the Hume Highway, and Goulburn is about 56 kilometers from here. Canberra is 148. We will reach Goulburn, and then from there we will go. From here till Goulburn is when we are going to stay on Hume Highway. After Goulburn we are going to get off the Hume Highway and towards Canberra on an internal road. I think it's called Federal Highway or something, but I'll show you when it comes. Anyway, so I'll update you once we get to the Marino. We have taken the exit for Goulburn now. Just learned two information. Goulburn is a population of 25,000 people only. So 24,000 I think. So that's not a very large city. Apparently it's the first inland city. So when it says first inland city, I would assume first inland city of Australia. So I guess so. Couple of other things. Where we are headed now in Goulburn is there is a big marino or a ship, like I mentioned earlier. So I'm assuming that ship farming is quite popular in that region. Ship farming is actually popular within Australia. Like Australia is known for ships. There are ships everywhere. But also Goulburn is also known for oranges and orange juice. You know, if you go to the supermarket in Australia, you will find Goulburn orange juice, or orange juice made in Goulburn. So yeah, that's amongst a few things that Goulburn is really known for. Generally I would stop at the signage of the city and take a photo there and things like that. I've got a whole team with me, so I'm going to go straight to the end. We got limited time, more importantly because of the sun setting soon, so you need to cover some distance before it gets dark. So I'm going to head straight for the Marino. So this is Goulburn City. There's War Memorial on this side, scenic lookout. So on my right is the city. I have actually never I've passed by Goulburn on the Hume Highway, but to come to Goulburn you have to take an exit and come in. It's not on the Hume Highway, and I have actually never been here before. I've passed by Goulburn so many times, but I've never been to Goulburn. The first time. That's a second cemetery. I saw another cemetery a while back. Must be an old city. Goulburn caves. So there are caves over here as well. Oh, that's interesting. Town center. So right ahead. Arrived at the Big Ram or the Big Marino. That's what it is. It's facing the main road, so to take a photo you have to actually go on them towards the road. Can't have the bike in front of it. And the easiest access is from the butt. I think that's what the shop is. A celebration of Australian wool industry. So you're going to take a little break over here and then get going for Canberra. So there you go. That is the wool. It's pretty big, as you can see, in comparison to the car. It's pretty massive. Marino now it's sort of running out of, it's getting late and to get going. So the next stop is Canberra. We're staying at a place called Pinnacle Apartments. It's already starting to get chilly. My hands are actually freezing underneath the gloves. If this is the state right now, I don't know what it will be like when we reach Canberra. So basically from here we are going back on the Hume highway, and then a little bit further down we take an exit into a federal highway. So the two exits you can take from Goulburn. We took the first exit. This is the second exit, somewhere over here. So this is the Hume highway. So we're back on the Hume highway. This is where we were earlier, and from here we had taken the exit for Goulburn. There's just a quick stop for fuel and bit of stretching the leg, and so the Big Marino at the same time, and now heading for Canberra. So we're going on this highway for a little while, and then we'll be taking an exit for Canberra. The highway we will take would be Federal Highway. Oh my, it is cold. I'll have to find out what the temperature is outside, but when you're on a motorcycle, the feel like temperature is a lot lower than what actually is, and everyone was sort of wrapped up when we stopped over there. It even feels cold inside the helmet. Canberra is 85 from here, so not too far. Into the Federal Highway. So this is a Federal Highway. Basically you take an exit from Hume Highway into the Federal Highway. Now this goes all the way up to Canberra. I have never seen this highway before, passed by this so many times because never had a reason to go to Canberra. Been going to Sydney a few times but never Canberra. So if you have never been on this side, this is the highway that goes to the capital of Australia. Now you see this sign, remember there is a yellow sign, so they put signs everywhere. Remembrance Driveway. So from Sydney to Canberra, they've actually put at every rest stop, they put some information about, I guess, soldiers who have passed away on line of duty or something. I haven't checked it up close, but from looks of it, that's what it looks like. So they must. In one of those, I've seen some a memorial kind of a thing. So possibly it is like a memorial at every rest stop, and I think it's a good idea. Look at that, a horse right next to the freeway. But yeah, it's all fenced off. I didn't see the fence earlier. I thought it was all open. Anyways, it is very, very freezing. My hands are freezing right now, and it's cold. And it's getting colder as we get to Canberra. Apparently, everyone says Canberra is very cold, and everyone in the motorcycle community as well. Like a lot of people I've been speaking to recently, and every time I mention Canberra, they say, make sure you wrap up properly because it's going to get cold there. And then Tassie, of course, Tassie is cold. But anyways, still bearable, so not a problem, but we might just take rest along the way just to warm up a little bit, because as soon as you stop, you get a chance to warm up a little bit. It is definitely windy around here. You can look at the wind farms over there, and all the windmills are moving. That means there is wind. And I can feel the wind and the cold as well. So I believe we must be very close to the border now. We'll have to stop over there when we get to the border. It is very, very cold. I'm next to this lake. It's a very huge lake. I had seen it on the map. And there are windmills on the other side. This whole area is very, very open. We were worried about cold and crosswinds on the Hume freeway, but apparently Hume freeway is not bad, mate. This space is far more windy and cold than the Hume freeway by many times, and the views are amazing. Look at that. I'll try my best to show it, but I don't know how much this GoPro can take in low light, but if you can see it, it is amazing views. The only thing is it's bloody cold. I'm just waiting for the border to arrive so I can stop and just rest a little. ACT, Australian Capital Territory. The sign just went behind me, it was so dark. There is, and on the left hand side it said Australian Capital Territory. On the right it said welcome to Canberra. So we are officially in the Canberra, the territory area, so basically the city area. As per the directions on the road, it says 15 kilometers to Canberra. Let me see what's here. Okay. So now all the signs of entering into a new state starts, like speed limit and this and that. So we are officially in Canberra now. I could not stop, take a photo or anything because it's bloody cold, and my hands are freezing. I will have to defrost them as soon as I get home. So cold on the way. Uh, Prerna's hands were, I think she has porous gloves, so her hands were really freezing. So she has switched place with Nikul. Now Nikul is riding the other bike. The only problem is his visor is pitch black. So he'll basically be relying on me to guide him. Now look at him. Black visor. Now we'll get started and gradually get to the destination now. Finally, after that freezing ride. Yeah. No. Okay. Huh? चालू रूममा पहुंची त्यहाँ लगी चालू. So yeah, parking inside this one. So one bedroom over here, lounge, kitchen, dining. I think 2 more bedroom upstairs. So this is it. Okay. So I'll update once we have settled in. Okay, so just a quick update on the day. Started from Sydney. So today it was me and Prerna, my sister-in-law, together, and the first stop was what was the first stop? Yeah, so we went to Bold something, and from there we had gone to Wollongong, and we stopped at where the Bold something. We stopped. We went to a viewpoint and we saw all the people gliding on the parachutes and all. Very popular route for bikers. Throughout the route we saw a lot of bikes. From there we went to Wollongong. From Wollongong, after Wollongong, I think when we climbed up, it was really steep, and during that, Prerna had a fall, and then we went all the way up, and further down we stopped at Mossvale, where I fixed the mirror and everything because I was carrying the tools, so luckily I was able to do that. After that we went to Goulburn, where we saw the big shape, and then we went to Canberra, and we are in Canberra right now. It was already dark, they already had the sunset when we were leaving Goulburn. So the views and everything was beautiful, but we couldn't really appreciate it as much as it was really cold on the way. My hands are still feeling a bit numb. Prerna, when we reached here, her hands were practically frozen. So Nikul, my brother, he actually switched with her, and he rode the bike from after reaching Canberra to our accommodation. He rode the bike. And anyways, we are here now, so we'll just relax, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. Until then, good night.